disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, a podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris Los and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, just check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's happening?
What's up, Gene? Pretty easy going week. Had a
nice hat, man. Nice hat.
You know, I had to. I didn't even know Travis was going to be on, but it's okay. Go blue. That's all I can say.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, we'll see what happens next week during the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's been a good week all week. My son, he started over. He's with the TPK family now, so that was exciting. My daughter, she wants to join too, but she's doing the 2 plays right now. One at her school and one for the place we've been going to for like the last 7 years, Starlight. So she's
you were telling me about that, man. She has a full schedule.
Yeah, 100%. Because she was going to try and do all 3, and I said, no, you just focus on this, and then we'll do that in the spring. So yeah, she's doing Beauty and the Beast at the one, and they're doing I can't even remember what it's called. Not Annie. Anyhow, she's doing that one at school. She's just a background dancer and singer for that one. But, you know, she's got to get her feet wet in that whole community right now because she's a freshman. So she's got plenty of time for that. And other than that, got a flat tire on Sunday on the way to work. That was a pain in my butt, but I took care of it. I was only 25 minutes late to work.
Tell Angel about that, man. You were telling me about that a little while ago.
Real quick, man. So I get up at 10 to 5. I get to work. I'd be to work by 6. Takes me about 20 minutes to get to work. So I like to leave myself a good little cushion. Got up. My tire was a little bit flat, so I blew it up. Heading to work. About 5 minutes from work, I hit a pothole or something, and I heard the little what, and I go, oh, come on. You know, I said, so I was like, I had a little air compressor with me. So I said, okay, maybe I can just blow it up and get to work, and then I'll call AAA. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. That tire was shredded. Oh, yeah, it was shredded. It was on the inside, so I couldn't see it at first. But I had to change the tire, but I got it up on the crappy jack, and it started rolling on me. Like, it started rolling. I was up on a hill. I didn't realize, like, I was just on a slight hill. So I had to let it all back down, push the car back about 3 feet, and then put it back up. But I got it done. I was only 25 minutes late to work, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh no, that's crazy,
but
bro. I mean, I've had a flat tire before where like it busts on the inside. Them shit sucks.
Listen,
dude.
if I didn't have to be somewhere, or if it wouldn't take an hour, so when I call AAA, no matter what I call them for, it takes about an hour for them to get there.
Always.
So I'm like, I could do this myself in 10 minutes. So
yeah,
that's how that was. So other than that, I'm good, man.
Angel, how was your weekend, man? And your week?
Weekend was good. It was chill. It was just chilling with friends, relaxing. And then my week has been fine. I mean, it's only, whatever day it is today. So it's just
I forgot what day it was today.
Yeah, whatever. I think today's Tuesday. So it's Tuesday. Yeah, so it's my week is still fresh. We'll see what other crazy nonsense is gonna happen, and then I'll let you know how that goes.
How's work been, man?
Work has been good, man. I don't want, I don't want. With my luck, my principal or someone watches this, so I don't want to say nothing. I'll tell
You
you
know what?
off the
I
air.
got a question because my wife's craziest. She teaches elementary school and she does art.
Mhm.
So her
Okay.
craziest group is kindergarten,
Okay.
and she has that today. So every Tuesday, she's always got crazy stories for me,
Uh huh.
and it's her kindergarten group. She sees all the kindergartners, and I'm like, oh, that's a day. So when she comes
Yeah.
home, I'm like, you want a martini? You want a drink? What do you want, babe?
Oh
I
shit!
feel
You know
like
how to make martinis?
I make a lot of different drinks, man.
I was like, you were a bartender back in the day. Look at you, little stud over here. All right, let me find out.
I did a little bit. Anyhow, so what's your craziest grade usually? Like, you got all four grades, right?
It's ninth grade.
Is it?
It's the craziest grade, bro.
I get it. Because you know
It's
what?
like
Ninth grade was
tough.
crazy for me, and then 10th, 11th, and 12th was so good.
Yeah,
for
like
me,
my
man.
10th graders, I had them last
Everything was
year.
fine.
I had my 10th graders last year when they were 9th graders, so they're like 10th graders now. Super chill, like easy going, nothing, no issues. My 9th graders,
Angel, have you ever taught like in elementary school?
Yes, I did.
Did you enjoy that?
I did, but then I hated going to my karate school.
Because you were around kids all day.
I get it.
It was just with the same group of kids, and I just can't handle those questions all day. Like I get aggravated and frustrated, and then I did middle school. Middle school was just tough.
I used to go to a charter school and teach karate back in the day, and I liked every grade that would come in, kindergarten through 5th. Those 6th, 7th, 8th graders, man, I could have dealt without those grades. Them right there, that's the worst. I was even teaching summer school one time, man, and I'm breaking up a fight between 2 6th graders. Now, one of the kids was, I just told Melissa this story. One of the kids was like a little nerd. Like, I probably shouldn't have said this to him, but I was like, man, if I was your age back in the day, when you was in school with me, like, you would have been one of them kids that was getting dumped into the toilet or something. He's messing with one of the popular kids in the class. And I'm telling him, like, chill out. Like this kid is going to hurt you. Like, leave him alone, But he wanted to be tough.
He was Dimitri.
He wanted to be tough. Right. He's running his mouth and he wanted to be tough. And he literally got in this kid's face and the kid was going to hurt him. So I grabbed him to pull him back. And this dude, he swings on me.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh,
so
no.
I blocked his swing, grabbed him, took him down. Next thing I know, I had this kid on the ground, his arm behind his head, behind his back. And I was like, damn, I think I just messed up. No, the principal walks into the classroom as I had this kid on the ground with his arm behind his back, telling him to calm down and relax. Because now he's struggling, trying to get up. He's trying to. I'm like, calm down, kid. Like, chill out. The principal walks in. She just looks at me and she just keeps on walking. She does not say it. She doesn't say anything. I went and talked to her after. She's like, no, Mr. Plowden, I knew that whatever you was doing, you was in the right. So don't worry about it. So I was like, okay, cool. Just so you know, I just broke up a fight. Like, this kid was about to really get seriously hurt.
No, I've had kids tell me that they want to hit me after school. I've had kids tell me they want to punch me. They want to punch me in my face. They want to do.
You seem like the type of person that would say, "Do it." Like, I know Mike would. Mike,
well, I'm gonna tell you right
now.
I told him. I said, like, if I saw you outside of school, I'll punch you right in the face. I told him. I said, I literally told him. I said, meet me at the park after school. Meet me, like hit me, like punch me, like punch me in the face.
You can't say it like that, man.
I told him.
Hey, here.
No,
listen, just listen. You gotta say, hey, you know what? Here's a free pass to my dojo. Why don't you come on Friday night?
There you go.
I'm gonna have some gear for you.
I told him. I said, hit me. Watch how I tell him I rolled down a hill and fell in a puddle. Watch the lawsuit that's gonna happen. Watch the lawsuit that's gonna happen. Watch. You think I'm gonna hit them? Hell no. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm retiring at 26. Watch. Retiring at 26. Watch.
You're retiring from teaching?
Because that settlement I'm gonna get, or you gonna pay me? You're gonna pay me. You better give me that hush money. You know what I'm talking about? But no, I've had kids say that. Then last year I had to deal with a school shooting which that was
Oh,
tough
wow.
last year. And then last year I had to deal with school shooting, and I was one of like the teachers that they were gonna shoot. So that was
Oh
just
man, you had a
yeah.
target, like literally,
And,
you had a target on your back.
and I had 2 kids, and there was 2 kids in my room in that during that period. So it was just, and you know what the crazy thing was? No joke. They talked to him because I had to like go through a whole process, obviously, with it, and they said it's not because they hated me, they wanted to shoot me. It was just because my class fell during that period, so I was just the target, and I was just like,
Those kids still that kid's still not in the school, is he? Like, is he getting some help?
no, they got expelled.
I mean, okay, that's good to know. But
You want to know what's crazy though? Right? He got expelled, and then I was working overtime last year, so I did tutoring for all expelled students, and then they tried to give me those kids to do tutoring. I said, hell no.
Oh, you know what's kind of messed up about that? Like, if a kid get suspended or expelled or whatever, now you don't know where they're at. Like, he could have been up under your car, 2 weeks later, a month later.
Slice my Achilles open. You never know.
Anything. At least
but
I mean, goodness gracious, like, what do you do?
And my district is like a it's called something. It's called an at-risk district or like a district in need. So like it's I deal with like the tough kids, man. But I mean, like I said, I tell the kids, like, you want to hit me, go ahead. I'm just gonna sue you. Like, I tell them straight up, I'm just gonna sue you. Then,
and actually, you're really gonna be suing their parents.
Yeah, and again, for me, I'm just like, go ahead, like, hit me. There was one time I broke up a fight between girls that they were swinging and they almost hit me, and I told one of them, I said, you better not hit me in the face because this fight is gonna turn real different. Don't hit me in the face.
Hey, how is your recovery from your injury going, man?
Good, man. I finally sparred for the first time a couple weeks ago, so it's going good. Just taking it step by step, bro. I'm just really trying to see what I could do and then play with it from there. But it just feels good to kind of be, back to normal somewhat. But I'll tell you what, man, the blessing in disguise was my gym workouts, man. Like, I really got a chance to like now focus on like building my strength up. When that injury happened, I was 162. And now I'm 175.
Okay.
I just packed on the muscle, and it's a blessing in disguise in a way. Okay. So, but yeah, man.
My weekend was pretty cool. Also, you like I said before, Angel, you probably don't know nothing about Sweetest Day, do you?
What?
You don't know anything about Sweetest Day, right?
Sweetest?
Yeah.
The hell is
so
that?
we have that here in Michigan and in Ohio. Sweetest Day. It's like a junior Valentine's Day. That's what it's like. Junior Valentine's Day. But technically, the women are supposed to treat the men.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, me and Melissa hung out Saturday. We ended up going to this little bar in Plymouth, Joe, called the Ebenezer.
Okay.
And it's kind of low key and hidden, man. Like, I never even heard of this place before or even seen it. We actually had a hard time actually finding it. It was almost like you had to park your car, then walk behind some buildings and through an alley, and then off to the side was the entrance. Like, it was really, really hidden. Like, you couldn't see it from the street. So we went there and we had a couple of drinks. It was a good time. And then we went. She had made reservations there, and then she had made reservations at this Mexican restaurant in Plymouth, and we went and had dinner and came back home. Sunday, we went to the pumpkin patch. We took the kids, and my son's mother went with us, and we had a good time, man. We got some pumpkins and donuts and cider, and, we had a good time. Nice family outing.
Very nice.
All right. Have you been there yet this year? Have you been to the cider mill?
Yeah, I went. We went to the zoo a couple weeks ago, and then went to the cider mill afterwards. The Franklin cider mill.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Angel, is that something that you guys do out there, New York, Connecticut? Like, you guys go to cider mills and pick pumpkins, or?
Hell no! Listen, that's what I did on Sunday. We did a pumpkin walk. And the people I went with, they were like, "Oh yeah, you stick out. Like, this ain't your type of like crowd."
What is a pumpkin walk? I've never heard of that at all.
Basically, it's like you try to find like colored pumpkins and all this stuff. And
it's like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, it's like a scavenger hunt type shit.
What?
Like pumpkins are big. Like how you go hide a pumpkin?
Yo,
like
there was pumpkins I didn't even know. There had pumpkins that look like apples. Didn't even know that.
You know what I did? I did see some small pumpkins out there. Okay.
Didn't even know that.
Okay. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, let's get into the movie. This week.
Have to.
That's this week. We're watching Batman: Soul of the Dragon. What did you guys think of this movie?
Before we even start, I just have a question. Are we doing Kung Fu Panda next?
I mean, eventually we can work our way around to that. Actually, no. My cousin Drew, he had suggested a movie, and I wanted to see it because it reminded me of you.
How is that supposed to mean?
It's a Donnie Yen movie called Big Brother, and I guess he's a teacher, and he has a classroom, and I don't know. That's all I know. So that's you. You know, you're a teacher. You have classroom full of kids. You're a martial artist.
Watch this man be a tyrant, and y'all gonna be like, "That I thought that was you." Watch this man be a tyrant.
I don't know, man. The box didn't look like that, man. The box kind of the picture of the movie kind of looked like, you know, the kids
probably going to be like Dangerous Minds or something.
There was a movie on Netflix I wanted us to see, and then there's a movie on HBO Max. After we got done with this movie, it shows your suggestions, and there was one on there that I wanted us to see. So I'll say it was at the end, but
we got a few good ones. We got a few movies. Oh, Joe, I got a question for you. Well, when we get around the holiday season, are we going to watch a wrestling Christmas Miracle this year?
Oh my God!
Hey, real quick, I know this is also something else I wanted to say.
Did Angel ever watch that movie? Because he really should have watched that movie.
No, it's okay. I live my life great without.
Wait a minute. Wait, we watched that without him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even remember.
Remember, I was on training camp. I couldn't do it.
Oh no, we should make you watch.
We sat there the whole time saying, "This is so." We should make Angel watch this because this is so horrible.
What you call it? Willie was the one that said he needs to be a little out of his mind before he would watch a movie like that. But what I was gonna say was so since we watched this, right? Mm-hmm. I was sitting here thinking.
Now, this was a suggestion from the director.
Of course,
this was not from me. This was from the desk of the director. That's where this movie came from.
Our new director?
No. He's the producer.
No.
Oh, producer. The director.
We talk about the director, the head of Martial Arts Center Network.
Okay, so since we're doing that, I was about to be like, listen, can we watch Creed? Because if we're watching this, I want to watch Creed. The new Creed came out. It looked great. I'm just saying.
It does look good.
And you're the one who tagged all your brothers and cousins in it. And I want to be like, you better tag me in that because I love Creed. And when I saw you tagged it, I said, "Oh, so we're good. We can watch it now. Listen, it counts."
When we do boxing movies, podcasts, then we'll do that. But it's not karate.
We're always gonna have this issue. It's still a martial art. We're always gonna have the problem, but it's still a martial art.
And there's people that think like you, and then there's Gina and I who are right. So it's okay.
Right.
Oh, by the way, can I just say, Mike Gibbs, that man is good. That man
I could have told you that.
Good. He was very well played this weekend.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well played.
I have no idea.
Angel went to dog him, and right after he did, Mike put up a nice comment about Angel.
Mike is gonna be quick with it, man.
Mike put up a picture of him with a money bag with the green wrestling suit, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just standing there. And I put down, I said, MFer, you look like a hood Riddler. Like, stop being so cheap.
Oh my God.
Right? I swear to God, G, the next minute, like literally 1 minute later, all I see on Facebook is, guys, please go support this young man. He's a young rising star in the sport karate world. And I love him as one of my brothers, Angel Diaz. Tagged me, and I said, oh, that was well played. Oh, that was well played.
Angel pulled his
I unsended it. I unsended it before he read it. And then Joe goes, why'd you do that? And I posted a picture. I said, Well played, sir. Well played. Well played. That one was good. Gee, Mike got me with that one. I was like, all right, cool.
All right, let's get back to the movie. Batman: Soul of the Dragon. What did you guys think of this movie?
Shit was intricate, man.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
This was Ninjago.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't know what I was watching. I thought I was
Batman.
watching Enter the Dragon with Jim Kelly and Bruce Lee.
Yep.
And then at one point, no joke, I had to pause the movie, back out of it, and read the description because I could have swore I read Bruce Lee and it said Bruce Wayne. I didn't know what I was watching. I did not know what I was watching.
Listen, my kids, like, they grew up in the Ninjago era. This is literally Ninjago with Batman.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that Ninjago back in the day.
Okay, did you see the similarities?
I didn't make that comparison. No.
Just
To me, I was thinking more so I didn't understand like why. It's okay. So sometimes with Batman movies, the animated ones, they try and get a little bit too creative. Just tell a story, just give us a regular story. Like, I don't need to see Batman in the 20s. I don't need to see a noir Batman. I don't need to see
the Ninja Batman.
Yeah, I don't need to see none of that. Just give me a regular Batman. Like, that's it. So with this one, they put him back in the 70s. And it was clear that this was the 70s.
That's what I was watching it and I kept saying, did I miss when they time traveled?
You had I get it, like this is Batman and this is an early Batman. This is not Batman of any recent.
But it makes no sense because like how old is Batman? The man lived through how many decades and he hasn't changed?
No, of course he's a cartoon. He doesn't
but
get
that's
older.
The problem. If we're talking about the DCAU, like it doesn't fit the DCAU. We're getting so deep into this because it gets me mad.
Honestly, I've been in the comics and cartoons for a long time, and I did find out. I can't remember right now. I have to look it up, but they did explain how timeline works.
I watched
within the comic books.
I've watched 3 or 4 videos of how the DCAU has was congruent with the comic books. Was how it was congruent with the straight to DVD films or the straight to VHS films from spinned off of the animated series to like how it just affects the whole animated universe in general. This makes no sense.
Yeah, like I said, it was just somebody that was trying to be creative. Let's put Batman in the 70s and see what would happen. Now, so this is a young Bruce Wayne. This is young Batman. There's about 6 of them all being trained together. And we see him going to learn, like he wants to develop some type of skills. So we see him go. They didn't even explain in this movie where he went and who these people were, but this was technically the League of Shadows. I mean,
yes. It was. Right?
Yeah,
Ra's
League of
al Ghul.
Assassins. Yeah, that's who these people technically were. They didn't explain that maybe because they didn't want us to know that these are eventually going to become villains. These people are going to become villains. I did look up the characters, the original characters, right? And there was a Richard Dragon back in the day. He looked nothing like the character in this movie.
Motherfucker looked like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he looked like Bruce Lee. He looked like an animated Bruce Lee. Right?
Yeah, the only thing
he
did everything Bruce Lee did, except for he didn't do all the woo and wow. Woo.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the only thing he didn't do.
Yeah, he didn't do
the
that.
Man had the glasses. He even did the whole like I don't know how to explain. I want to say Jedi mind trick, but like the whole like outsmarting your opponent. Yeah, let's go fight in the corner and then close the door. And
he even did the 1-inch punch.
Yeah.
But you know what? The one thing that I did like about this movie that let me turn my volume down. The one thing I did like about this movie was Bruce Wayne was not the best fighter.
Nope.
He wasn't even the leader of this crew of people. I like that they didn't make him the center of it. He was still learning. He was still training. He was still coming into his own, and I like that.
I mean, we saw those ass whoopings he was getting.
And that was, I mean, that probably what happened to anybody, you know, if I had to guess, I would say that he had been, when we see him become Batman, I would say he has probably been Batman for maybe about, I would say maybe a year or two, maybe 2.5 years, because he didn't have a Batmobile. Like, he had a regular car that was just kind of tricked out, but he didn't have a Batmobile. He didn't even have a Batwing. He had a regular airplane, you know. So
I did not like his Batman costume. They made his face look weird.
oh, that's how he was originally drawn back in the day. So they were trying to they were trying to give props to some of his earlier designs.
Oh, trying to just give like a shout out to the artist type.
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what that was from. Go ahead, Joe. Did you have something you were going to say?
No, I mean this whole thing to me was just all over the place, and it was very similar to the whole Ninjago plot, more or less. So it was.
It reminded me of not only, of course, these are 70s people in the 70s time period, but it also reminded me of James Bond also.
Yeah, it did have a little James Bond feel to it.
Yeah, because and that's who Richard Dragon was. So we even start off this movie. He is breaking into some place, and all right, Angel. he's breaking into some place, and then a bunch of guys come in. And he's changing his outfit in order to get into this place. I think he gets in and he's pretending to be a waiter, and then he breaks in. Now, this is always weird to me, right, Joe? Anytime we see someone break into a well-guarded place, you know, they're in the disguise, right? And they end up taking somebody's fingerprint in order to get behind the door. Now, to me, how do you know what's on the other side of that door? How do you know where you're going? How do you know where the safe is if you've never been in this room before? How can you plan for something that you don't know?
Must have cased the place and got some plans or something, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird. So he breaks into this place, and you know, he gets into this safe, and then he pulls out this file, and he's taking pictures of all this information in the file. And these guys come in, and you know, he starts fighting, and then we see that he's a martial artist, and clearly he is, quote unquote, Bruce Lee. Did you like the fight scene, Joe?
I did like the fight scenes. I liked a lot of the fight scenes.
Okay,
that was a fun fight scene, especially for animated. Sometimes you get really good fight scenes, sometimes you don't. No, the fight scenes are great.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun fight scene. He ended up jumping out of a window and kicking a grenade back at the.
I did like that. I don't know why I did like that part. I don't know why. Cool. That was pretty cool.
It was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let me skip ahead a little bit.
No, we didn't know what he was there for. It could have been money related or anything.
We didn't even know if he was. We didn't really know if he was hero or villain.
Exactly. What he was really intrigued by, he took a picture of a picture that was in a file of a door. So I mean, we don't know what that's about yet. I mean, we do now that we watched the movie, but I thought that was interesting at first because I was like, "Why are you taking a picture of a door?"
Now, do you remember the name of the main villain? Because I don't even remember his name at all.
Only because I have him in front of me and I could probably figure it out. Not Jeffrey Burr. Shanglo-Foss.
Okay.
Or King Snake. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? I have no idea. But this guy,
he was weird.
Yeah, he actually the next thing we see of this guy, like he had slept with a prostitute. Now, when this happened, like Melissa was sitting next to me, she was doing her homework, and I'm watching this, and because to her it's just a cartoon, but some of the language and some of the situations that's going on, like it kind of took her by surprise, you know. So you know, he gives her some money, and he tells her to go. And she goes into this room, and next thing you know, it's full of snakes. And she's asking to get out, and she's pleading. And these snakes come in. And I was like, well, this has got to be a horrible way for somebody to go. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
these weren't just regular snakes; these were cobras. You know,
Yeah, that whole situation was weird. But if he told her to go out that door to leave, how, why did she just go out the door she came in? Obviously, why you go out a different door?
why? I don't even understand why he wanted to kill her. Like
He
that.
was weird.
That didn't make any sense to me at all. You know,
I mean, he's in another room behind some glass looking at her. And first he's
watching
like,
her.
dance. Yeah, like dance for me. And she's like, I got other clients to see. Like, I'm not dancing. And he's like, dance for me. And then he lets out these snakes. That whole thing just gave me creepy vibes.
And then he turns around and eats a rat.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, I guess that means he's trying to say like he's a snake.
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Only thing I can come up with.
Mm-hmm. The next thing we see, Richard Dragon, he's going to talk to Bruce. He wants to talk to Bruce Wayne. We don't know that at first, but he's downstairs trying to get inside, and the bouncer doesn't let him in. And that was a pretty slick way. That was, you know, who that reminded me of? Who would do something like that? How he got that bouncer to get out of here?
Who?
Mr. Miyagi. That was such a Mr. Miyagi. You know, he tells them, like, come over here. If you want to fight, okay, come on, let's go over here. They go around the corner to fight, and he just closes the gate. Yep. And the guy's just stuck on the other side of the gate. No fighting, no nothing. He locks the gate, and then he goes upstairs to see Bruce.
My favorite part about that guy that made me laugh was, so here is like Richard Dragon, aka to us, you know, kind of Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good martial artist, one way or another. You're gonna learn. And this guy's like a big muscle head, and he's like sitting there, and he's like, "I'm gonna beat you up using karate." And I'm like, who talks like that? If I owned a club and my bouncer's like walking around saying, "I'm gonna beat you up with my karate," I'm gonna smack him upside his head. You're supposed to look tough. You're not supposed to talk stupid like that. That's dumb.
Right.
I know karate, and I don't say to somebody, "I'm gonna beat you up using my karate."
No, that maybe they talk like that. Maybe they talked that way in the 70s. Who knows?
I guess, man, that was weird.
Yeah. The next thing we see Bruce Wayne climbing up a mountain with snow, and he's knocking on the door. He's trying to get in, and he's looking for people to train. I don't know how he knew where they were. It's not like they had Google back in the day. It's not like they had the internet, but he finds this place tucked away in the mountains somewhere. We don't know where it is. The funny thing is when they open the door, they let him in, and you see the other side of the mountain. It's sun. It's like summertime. I don't understand that either. Like what the weather doesn't work.
Waterfall.
Yeah. Nobody's cold at all. That was strange. So we meet this guy. His name is O Sensei. And according to this movie, he is the guy that trains Bruce Wayne. But not only Bruce Wayne, he trains Richard Dragon, because we see a young Richard Dragon here. And actually, Bruce Wayne and Richard Dragon are talking. So this is like kind of like a flashback scene. And they're talking. Also,
they did a lot of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other people who were there was Lady Shiva. If you are familiar with DC, then you know who she is. She's a villain. But she's also there being trained, and also Ben Turner is being there, is there being trained, and another guy named Rip Jagger is there being trained, and then a girl named Jade. So it's 6 of them all together that are being trained to be fighters. Now Ben Turner, he was based on Jim Kelly. You know who the actor was that was doing his voice, right?
Michael Jai White.
Yep, Michael Jai White. The funny thing about that is Michael Jai White played this character before. He played this character. Yeah, he played this character on Arrow back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was his character from Arrow. So he just kind of did it again. What did you guys think of all of these collective of people? Even though it seemed like it should have been a lot more people there, right? Than just 6 of them.
I agree. Yeah, it was interesting for sure. A little crazy.
Yeah. How do you think this movie would have did in live action?
Good question.
You're muted, Angel. There you go.
I think it would have did good.
You think it would have been all right?
All right, I think it. Yeah, let me say all right because DC's making it, so it wouldn't have been good. It would have been.
Let me ask you this: would it have been better if it was live action and not set in the 70s, but set in now time?
No, leave it in the 70s.
The 70s part was
what makes you
okay.
say-
It just
It made more. It made for the way the characters look. It made sense. Does
Okay.
that make you get what I'm trying to say? You have like a Jim Kelly lookalike. I'm not gonna take him serious if he's walking around.
He doesn't look like this in a comic. This guy doesn't look like this.
I know,
And
but I'm
neither-
just saying.
and neither
But
did
I'm
Richard
saying
Dragon.
if they're following that though, if I saw that walking around today, I would think they look out of place.
No,
In
I
the
mean,
70s, it looks
in
normal.
live action, I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have tried to be like the 70s if it was live action. And in today's time, I think they would have just been like just a regular Michael Jai White would have been him, and the Richard Dragon character would have been somebody else. I think if they would have did it now. I meant the whole overall story. How do you think the story would have done if it was live action and now? That's what I was wondering.
Oh, I
probably
would
would
have
have
fell
been
asleep.
okay.
Okay.
I would have fell asleep because that shit was intricate on animation. I would, let alone I'm gonna follow it in real life. No,
It wasn't intricate. It was all over the place to me. It was just a little bit like a little here and there, a lot of flashbacks.
that's intricate.
Mhm.
That the flashbacks, I couldn't even keep
Yeah.
up with it. That's where I was getting lost.
Yeah, they probably should have just did everything that was supposed to be in a flashback. They should have just did it in order, chronological order, and just led up to it because that kind of took you out of stuff.
They were trying to be too different with it. That's what I didn't like.
They're trying to get too cute.
Yeah,
Like, we'll do flashbacks here and there, and then have the viewer put it together. But I don't want to think that hard. Just show me the movie. That's it.
Yeah. So the reason why Richard Dragon goes to see Bruce Wayne is because he tells him that somebody is looking for a sword. They're looking for the sword that Lady Shiva has. Do you guys remember the name of I have it here. Murmasa is the name of the sword.
Yep.
And Soulbreaker, my bad. Soulbreaker is the name of the sword. I remember that. Now this sword is used to open a door. It's like a portal someplace. When they were being trained, their master told them, like they would ask them about like what's on the other side of that door. He never really told them until he had no choice but to tell them what was on the other side of that door. So now in the future, in the present time, someone is trying to open this door. So basically, they're trying to stop whoever from opening this door.
Yeah, and we have no idea why, but then during a flashback that actually made sense, they show us why you don't want to open this door.
Mm-hmm. What did you guys think about during the flashback? They were practicing trying to punch a stone.
Oh, sure.
Now, what old sensei told them is, didn't he say like try and break the stone or something like that? And then he kind of walked away, and all of them started punching it.
Well, he was basically like, you might not break it now, you might not break it later. It's going to be hot and it's going to hurt you. It was just some old sensei mumbo jumbo. Was what it was.
And all of them started punching. Go ahead, Joe.
And everyone had their own reaction to what was said and how to handle it. You know, what is it? Lady Shiva, who was considered, I guess, the teacher's pet at the time. She was the top student, I guess. I think
was the smartest one.
Yeah, she hit the stone like 6 times and walked away.
Yeah, she was like, "That's it, I'm good." Like
her
knuckles never bled.
Yeah, and then I think it was Jade next was like, "Well, if the teacher's pet's not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it," and she walked away. And then slowly, everybody else except for Bruce Wayne, he's just
like even Richard
bloody
Dragon.
knuckle, and Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. And none of them broke the stone. None of them ever broke it at all.
Not that
So
I've seen. No,
so once again, old Sensei was playing mind tricks with them.
there was a lesson probably to be taught there, but I don't know what it was.
All right, Angel, do you know who this main villain is? Like, what's this guy's name?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Gene, I was
They
trying
never
to just
gave
keep
it.
up.
I don't think they ever gave his name.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep up with the movie. Like, I was just trying to keep up with the movie. I swear to God, if I watched it and I like turned away, or let's say like a good example, I was like making popcorn, right? And I went, got the popcorn, came back, and I remember I started eating, and I'm like, what
You
happened
would've
to
been
the other
lost.
dude?
Yeah, you would have been lost.
And I
with the
stopped,
flashback
and I was
everything.
like, I stopped, and I was like, what's happening? When did these people get here? And I had to stop, pause, and go back and rewatch that little section. That's what I'm saying. Like, I let alone couldn't even follow the movie. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. And I guess what also hurt it is even these little parts where during the flashback, the sensei would talk. He was saying stuff and it really wasn't making sense to us. So we were lost with that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. What about the fight between Ben Turner and Bruce Wayne? Bruce got messed up. He got beat up. He got beat up real bad.
Yeah, he got fucked. Sorry, he got messed up.
But they bonded over it, which is kind of funny, and like it made Ben laugh. Like he was like,
yeah.
"Oh man, like you really took a beating, but good job, like good looking." So,
He respected him.
It was the one time like you didn't see him real angry, because that was his problem at the beginning. Like they were like he's trying to control his anger, and meanwhile he's breaking practice dolls and stuff.
And I think his character is the reason why my brother suggested that we watch this movie, because I hate that they give African Americans the funny one-liners in these damn movies. Like, this shit don't be funny to me. It doesn't be funny. At first they're mean, they're angry, and everybody's scared of them, don't want to bother them. But then, like they give them these one-liners, I guess, to make the audience feel comfortable with them. I guess, I don't know. I hate that shit. I hate it with a passion.
You should. It's stupid.
It's very stupid. So it's kind of messed up. We're kind of going back and forth between the past and the present in this movie. So eventually, Richard Dragon tells Bruce, like, hey, they're going after the sword. Soulbreaker, Lady Shiva has it. We need to warn her that people are coming.
Now tell me this. So before the whole before the when they went back to the past and then the flashback, when Richard Dragon showed up at Bruce's club or whatever it was, and then they're talking and he's looking at, he's got a bunch of video and everything, and then the Axe Gang comes in. What was the Axe Gang doing there that led them to believe they were looking for the sword? Were they looking for information on the sword?
I don't know.
I didn't understand that.
I don't know. I can't.
They come into Bruce's club. They're messing up the club. Then Richard Dragon goes down and starts beating people up. Bruce Wayne starts beating people up, and then the lights go off, and all of a sudden, Batman, in quotation, shows up.
Right.
And messes everybody up. And I'm just trying to figure out what were they doing there, like. And then they're like, "Oh, they're after the sword." Like, what did these people say? They said nothing. They did nothing to make me believe that they were looking for the sword at your club.
Well, in the past, I think they knew that in order to open up this doorway, this portal, you had to know where the portal was. You had to have the door, and you also had to have the sword, because the sword opens the door. Especially if you did if you did a sacrifice, it opens up the door. So they knew that, because Richard took the picture of the door that was in that file. So he knew that, okay, they know where the door is. They must be coming after the sword next.
I'm just saying, why was the Axe Gang sent to Bruce's in search of the sword. Did they think Bruce had information on the sword,
They might
or
have
did they
wondered.
think the sword was there?
I think they. I don't think they knew where the sword was, or maybe they knew that. I have no idea, man.
That's what
Because
I'm
like
saying.
why does anybody even know Bruce knows anything about them? Like, how come he's just not a normal billionaire playboy? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, either way, plot hole, I guess. But
Yeah, I
that
guess.
makes Bruce and Richard, and Richard had just learned for the first time that Bruce Wayne is Batman, which he thought was interesting. And he also didn't seem to know about Batman until that day.
Yeah, because like I said, like I think like this is the him just becoming Batman. Like I don't think he had been Batman very long. Like I said, maybe anywhere from a year to 2.5 years. Like he was still a rookie because he wasn't his normal Batman stuff. You know, Batman is in a room and he's gonna beat up a whole bunch of different bad guys.
Yeah.
Like he was still getting hit a little bit, you know.
So then they head over to Lady Shiva's, and Bruce is kind of explaining to Richard that like Lady Shiva's not who she once was. She's a bad guy now.
Right.
And during that whole thing, now that Richard knows that he's Batman, he's like, well, how come you haven't taken her out yet? And he's like, said he was working up to it. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, and that would have been a kind of hard thing to do, like to take it down one of your friends.
Yeah. But it was interesting because he's probably messing up her organization. So she does not care for Batman. And then here he is like, we'll just, you know what, I'm going to take out all these other scumbags. And then, you know, maybe on a day when I've taken out all the bad guys, I guess I'll have to go after my friend eventually. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Does that, do you know, does he have problems with that later in any of these comics or stories?
As far as Lady Shiva and I don't know if in the comics like he really came up with all of these characters. Like I know Richard Dragon and Ben Turner and I think Lady Shiva were all together, but I don't know if Batman was originally with them or Bruce Wayne was with them being trained. I don't know. Like I never read a lot of the old school ones like that.
I'm just curious if there's another version where she shows up and like he has to take her down or he has trouble with it or like he can't.
I've never seen her with Batman.
Okay.
Like she's not one of his main villains.
Got you.
Yeah. So now a fight breaks out at Lady Shiva's place. Soulbreaker ends up getting taken, and they're chasing the guy who took it. Like this is giving me this guy kind of seemed like he was the main bad guy, but then we find out that he wasn't the main bad guy. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh my goodness, yeah, I have no idea what his name is. It's not even in here. Let's see. Cobra.
Oh,
Jeffrey
Cobra
Burr.
King, Jeffrey Burr. Yeah. There's so many names and I don't know which one is which.
Yeah.
But
because there's another guy. That was King Snake.
Well, they do another flashback and they show us what happens when the door gets open.
Yeah.
So there was when the Soul Breaker was being presented by the sensei, he was basically saying, this is why you're being trained. I'm going to give this sword, the special sword, to my best student, which he chose Lady Shiva. And Jade brought up that somebody else should be the favorite student. Who was it? Do you remember?
No, I don't. Like Angel said, like this movie was kind of all
that's
over
what I'm saying.
All over.
So he suggested, okay, well, if you feel that way, he asked the guy if he felt that way too, and he said, yeah, I feel like I should get it over Lady Shiva. So he put them.
Are you talking about Rip?
Yeah, Rip. Mm-hmm. Had them fighting. Rip and Lady Shiva fought each other, and Sensei told Lady Shiva her only defense can be her finger. And so Rip gave her his best attacks, and he got beat. And so that's how she ended up with Soulbreaker. And then later that night, we find out Jade is stabbed by was it Rip?
Yep.
That took the sword and stabbed her and opened the gate to see what was behind it. And all these snakes. This is where it started getting like Ninjago to me. I'm just like, I can't do it.
Oh, now I see. Now I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the snake people came out, I'm like, all right, I've seen this before. Anyhow, yeah, the door opens up with these big snake creatures come out. They're kind of having trouble with it. Lady Shiva is slicing them up with the sword. Everybody else is doing their best with their kung fu. And they're fighting, and eventually what has to happen is it takes a soul to open the door, so you got to sacrifice to open the door, and it takes a sacrifice to close it. So after they take care of these snake creatures, the sensei sacrifices himself and goes back behind the door to close it.
Yeah.
And this is how, I mean, they didn't really show much more about this at all. Everyone kind of separated and went their own ways, and Lady Shiva, took off with the sword until recently. Now it's been stolen.
Mm-hmm. Now Ben Turner stayed with it though.
Yeah,
Ben kept going after them and fighting, and I guess he was being a nuisance to them, and I guess he found out that there was a child who was supposed to. What was up with the kid? He was supposed to
fulfill a prophecy of he was going to be the vessel for whatever the Snake King or something like that, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, so when he got to him, he could have killed him, and he didn't. Now he knew that this was going to be the bad guy. What would you guys have done?
That's tough, man.
Okay. All right.
Nobody wants to kill a kid.
I'm gonna make it
Nobody
easier.
wants to kill a kid.
You know for a fact that this kid's gonna be the Antichrist. What do you do? All right. He's out of there. He's out of there, and I'm going to be the hero of the world. Put me on money.
He said this kid is the Antichrist. Yo, that is the wildest thing I think you've said now. You just called the kid the devil. Like, that's the craziest thing.
I'm just saying,
but can you live with yourself for killing a kid like that?
Yes,
if he's the devil, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. If I know that this kid,
Joe, I wouldn't even think twice. I'll go to sleep just fine. Guess what? Now we know there's no more evil in the world. You're welcome.
Thank you. That's right. I said put me on some money. Put me on money.
What if it's Champ?
But he wouldn't be the
What if?
He wouldn't
you
be the
Pandora's box. You just opened the box.
Joe, that was a tough one. Joe, now you're getting deep with it. Now it's getting tough.
Why would my son?
I'm just saying, if it's not your son, it's somebody's son. It's somebody's son.
Why you gotta be that dude, man? Be quiet. Don't be that guy. What is wrong with you?
No.
You guys wanted to go there. You can't just say I'd kill the kid that was an Antichrist. That's somebody's son. So why not say it's your son or my son?
No, if it's my son, I'm just gonna ask him like, hey man, why don't you at least keep me as a pet or something? Like don't do whatever you want to do for the rest of the world. Let me be your pet or something.
See?
Oh my god, I can't with Gene, man. This guy comes out with the wildest stuff.
I swear. You know what? When Trav cuts this up, this will probably be the crazy part he's gonna release.
I'm gonna tell Trav, be like, yo, go to this part in the show where Gene says he'll kill the Antichrist, but if it's Champ, he said keep me as a pet.
I'm just saying you can't just say if it's I'm gonna kill this little kid, but then you gotta put yourself in the shoes.
But bro, none of these people,
somebody.
Ben Turner. This is not Ben Turner's kid.
I agree. I'm just saying, man.
This is not his kid.
I'm sorry, man. I still am not over. He said keep me as a pet.
Yeah, like you're not going to kill your pet. Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's doing that. You know.
Yo, oh my god,
so, hey.
yo, Gene, man, you like just when I thought you could never say nothing crazier than your last thing, you come out with something like way worse, and now in my mind it's like we went to the devil. Like there's nothing past this. Like you're gonna find a way to top this one. Like this is
Of
crazy.
course he will.
Yo, tell Melissa, yo, if I'm there and Champ is the Antichrist, can he keep us as pets? I just want to know what her reaction would be.
All right, I'm gonna ask her right now.
All right, go ahead.
Melissa, come here for a second.
I'm telling you right now.
All right, I got a question for you, babe. Okay. All right. So let's say, for whatever reason, Champ is the Antichrist. Okay. Would you have a problem if I asked him to let us stay alive and just be his pets?
Yes.
You have a problem with that?
Yes.
You don't want to be a pet?
No.
You want to.
Oh Lord.
If you want to hear where we go, but you got to listen to the podcast. All right, babe.
Oh,
Well,
you just left her so confused right now.
Yes.
Now she's gonna throw some holy water.
So she's gonna die. I'm gonna be on the leash. It's just gonna be me.
All right, man. We gotta wrap this up. Travis is gonna get on us because we're going too long.
Oh my god. Oh.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead and finish. I can't see no more. I can't see.
All right. So, so actually, I mean, there's not much more after this. Really, it's just lots of chasing down. They have to chase down the bad guys who have the sword. It brings them right back to the door.
Mm-hmm.
So, here we are. We're having the big, the boss scene. And who is the guy that, so Bruce and Bronze Tiger now is who Jim Kelly lookalike is calling himself. I guess when he was taking out the organization, that was the nickname he got, Bronze Tiger.
Right.
And all that. They stay back to fight this King Snake guy who literally his hands are turning into snakes, and you cut the hands and it turns into another snake person. So that was
he the King Snake guy? Because there was somebody at the very, very end.
I know,
and
so
I thought he was King Snake. I can't think
know
of who this other guy was.
They didn't give these people names.
Right.
We look it up and it says a name and it doesn't show the character. So
there's one name I can't even pronounce. It starts with an S.
I know. I
can't even attempt to pronounce that.
Sassafranusu, I don't even know. Sasquatch, who knows? So Bruce and Bronze Tiger are having trouble with this guy, and then we go back and you're seeing Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva, they're fighting everyone else, and then who got stabbed with the sword? Who had to make the sacrifice? Was it Lady Shiva?
I think it was her, yeah.
That got stabbed? No, because I think she survived.
Well, I don't think she died.
Oh no! The bad guy stabbed himself into the door.
Oh yeah, that's right. To open the door.
Yeah, the main boss stabbed himself to sacrifice himself because
he was trying to fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, because they got the kid away from him, and so yeah, they did that, and
yeah, because he was going to sacrifice. He was going to sacrifice a child, but I didn't get that. That didn't make sense. He's going to sacrifice a child, but I thought his body was supposed to be the vessel for this.
Yeah, he's got to sacrifice his own body.
No. I got it. I got it.
I guess. Supposedly.
No. I got it. He was going to kill the kid so he can open the door, and then when the King Snake comes out, he was going to give his body up.
Something like that.
Yeah, to the King. I got it.
So they're kind of going back and forth here, and then we see Bronze Tiger out of nowhere just literally decides F everything, and he makes like a blowtorch and kills. That's how he kills the snake thing, which I'm like, the whole movie is supposed to be karate and kung fu, and they're like, it's just failing everything, and Batman's getting beat up.
Well,
and then all of a sudden, this guy just blowtorches this thing to death.
Are we really going to be standing around trying to do martial arts and karate if we're fighting animals and things that's not supposed to be standing up and fighting us. Angel.
No, it was just funny to me because he literally all just out of nowhere he's like, I got an idea, blah, fire.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that
with
thing
him on
was
that.
just eradicated.
I'm with
So
them
then
on that.
They run up and we get to see the door open up and their sensei walks out.
Mm-hmm.
But he is no longer the sensei. He is the Snake King or King Snake or whatever. And he's trying to get all his minions to come out and they got to defeat their own sensei. And the sensei reveals that Richard Dragon was always supposed to be the actual vessel. And that's who he wants for his quote unquote perfect vessel. And they got to fight him and get him back into the gate. And they're all kind of deciding who's going to be the sacrifice to stop everything. They do defeat their sensei, who dies, not allowing the vessel to escape. And then they literally do the dumbest thing they can do for this movie. And they end it on like a to be continued type of thing where they're all like, well, I guess we're not done yet. And they all like get in their fighting stance. And
because they go, this is what happens. So they have to go through the door. They have to close the door. So in order for the door to close, somebody has to be sacrificed. So Batman goes through the door to sacrifice himself. They all follow him because they don't want him to sacrifice himself. Now, meanwhile, the door is closing behind them. And they're not paying attention till it's too late. Even though I think they could have ran. If they would have ran, they could have got out of. Somebody could have got out of there, but they didn't.
For sure.
The door closes behind them, and that is the end of the movie. Now, this movie came out in January of 21. They have not released a part 2 to this movie yet. Normally,
there's gonna be one.
Normally, a part 2 is kind of, not long after the first one comes out. It's almost been 2 years. And they've had other animated movies. I don't know if they're going to do a sequel to this. I think they're just going to say, "Oh, we're done with it. This was a dumb idea." That's what I think.
I'd be okay with that.
They've done it before. They've done it before.
I'm 100% okay with that. So, what'd you guys rate this movie?
I give it a D.
Angel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was almost going lower than that, but I'll give it a D.
You don't have to stick with us. I mean, you give it whatever you want. I mean,
No, because here's the thing: the storytelling was bad, the animation was fine, the karate was good. It's just the story was all over the place. Like I said, it literally almost followed the same thing as Ninjago. I mean, they changed a few things, but
most DC animated movies are pretty good. This one was not one of those ones that are pretty good. A lot of the Batman ones are good. A lot of the Justice League ones are good.
I've watched a lot of those too, and they're really good.
Yeah, very good. Better than the live action most of the time.
Yeah. What's up?
Is Gene frozen?
I can hear
Looks
y'all.
like
I'm frozen, but I can hear y'all.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say. So I know we talked about this in the beginning of the movie. In the beginning, but I just want to say it now. What I was talking about was there's a 6-episode kind of like documentary on Japan. Yo, Gene, I'm sorry. Hold on. The where your face froze, it looks like you're giving me the like. I don't give a fuck face. Like it's crazy.
I know.
Like it's bad crazy. Like it really looks like you could care less about what I gotta say. But it's fine.
I know you. It's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking like I'm saying, shut the fuck up, Angel. Hurry up and get this stuff.
But all I was gonna say was on Netflix. It's called Age of the Samurai: Battle for Japan. It's a 6-episode series. Looks pretty good. So that's what I was going to say. That's something I saw the other day. That and then 47 Ronin on HBO Max was pretty good. So for the future, if you guys already know what we're going to do.
The 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. I saw it before. Pretty good, man. It's actually really good.
I've seen it before too. I don't remember. I thought it was a little different. But yeah, I'd watch that one.
It's not decent. It's more it's kind of like Hero, but not as not as dramatized. You know what I mean? Like it's more realistic.
If we're gonna do some samurai movies, we got to get The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai, you got to. Movie. I think we should do that last though. I think if we do the documentary series, 47 Ronin, and then The Last Samurai, That'd be like a nice little set.
You know what? It's
Yeah.
always hard to review those documentaries though.
You think so?
I'm not against it though. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just it's because there's no storyline that we have to, follow. We just
That is true. That is true. I guess we're just more talking about history at that point. All right, that's never mind.
no, we can do it if y'all want to do it. We can, but I'm just saying it's just know that going in, like when we take our notes or whatever we're gonna talk about. Like,
Well, what did we do for Fumio Demura? How did we approach that?
it was any documentary that we've done. As far as my opinion, they have not been easy to do.
Do you want to just all right? If we do it, we could discuss things maybe throughout the week, like what we should like key points to look for. Maybe we could do that.
Okay.
All right, so what's the next one we're doing though? That's on Netflix. It's
Is that the Big Brother? Yeah, let's do Big Brother next.
Big Brother, got you.
Right. Sounds
All
good.
right. Y'all got any any closing remarks? Anything?
No, check us out on Patreon, Main Gang, all that stuff.
Check us out on Patreon, Main Gang. Stay tuned. Got a lot of stuff coming up. Coming to tournaments near you, all that good stuff. So just keep up with the page and just don't get on the bandwagon later and say we knew y'all were gonna blow up. Like, don't do that. Get on it now. Get on it now. Don't do that.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. Producer, play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.